And so it's this big, ugly animal that has to be contested. And this is what has to happen. Across the board, you have all of these decisions being made in these sort of closed door meetings because they fund both sides of the aisle, because they fund the establishment candidates. When you look at people's endorsements and you look at where they're getting their money from, a lot of these big money people, they're funding the Democrat in the D+20 district. They're funding the Republican in the R+20 district. And so it's this big, ugly animal that has to be contested. And this is what has to happen. We as Californians have to contest every seat at every level in the Senate, in the Assembly, and in the executive branch, because these incumbents have gotten far too comfortable. And so what we're going to need is we're going to need Democrats to run in heavily Democratic districts. We're going to have Republicans run in heavily Republican districts to primary them from the left or primary them from the right, which is really just a populist center, because the uni-party doesn't serve any of us. And we know that. We have to develop a mentality that's closer to our founding fathers or our founders, which is we want dialogue. Our founding fathers weren't Republican and Democrat. They all exchanged dialogue, and they had conversations, and they had discourse, and then they allowed the good ideas to come to the top. Instead, we're perpetually a culture that is obsessed with the person, a cult of personality. Whether it's Governor Newsom or it's President Trump, I would rather talk ideas.